Hello, my name is Glenn Holloway, and this is my video on elements and the principles of art. The elements and principles of art is described as tools. Tools in which an artist uses to create an art piece. This includes line, shape, form, value, space, color, hue, and texture. As we go through this lesson, you'll realize that these tools work together to create an art piece. Line, a moving dot. Straighter lines are machine-like, while curved lines are more natural lines and can make texture, shapes, and when bold, seems more powerful. This is an example of texture. This is an example of bold versus thin, and these are the different types of lines. Lines can also form shapes, and different types of lines create different emotions. For example, this line is straight but chaotic, and curved lines are more comfortable. Shape, an enclosed line, 2D, with length and width. There are two types of shapes, geometric and organic. Geometric shapes are types of shapes you would find in math and give a feeling of order while also being man-made or machine-made. Organic are more fluid shapes. They vary often, they're more friendly, and they're more complex to draw. Form, objects that are 3D and has length, width, and height. Perspective helps for the 3D effect, while also shading does help for a 3D effect. Value, the lightness or darkness of a color. Space, area around, above, and within an object. Space can be used to create distance. Positive space and negative space also exist, and often vary between people of what side they see first. Some people may see the darker side or the lighter side first in an art piece. Color, reflected light. There are warm colors that people and artists use to create a happier feeling or a more excitement feeling. Cool colors give a relaxed feeling or a darker mood. There are three primary colors: yellow, red, and blue. These colors are mixed to create different types of colors. There are complementary colors, which are colors that are opposite to one another and look good together on a color wheel. Hue, tints or shades adding white or black. To create a tint, you add white to a color to create a lighter color. To create a shade, you add a darker color or black to create a darker color. The seventh and final element of art is texture, the surface quality on a work of art. It's different from reality-based texture, which is something you can feel. It is something called implied texture, where you can't feel it, but it's purely visual, and patterns and intensity help create this texture effect. Principles of art. These consist of balance, proportion, unity, harmony, variety, emphasis, rhythm, and movement. Balance. Balance comes in the form of formal symmetry and informal symmetry. For formal symmetry, whatever you draw or your image is this exactly the same on both sides. Informal symmetry, otherwise known as asymmetry, is not the same on both sides and either slightly different or completely different on both sides. Proportion, the relationships / amount of art elements Realistic. Realistic proportion has realistic properties, while distorted proportion has distorted properties. There is also scale, which makes an object appear smaller or larger. Unity. Feeling of completeness and relationship / belongingness. This is a drawing I made, and there's a sense of unity because there's a complementing pattern to the subject in the middle with relating colors and style. Harmony. Relation to each other through repetition / rhythm, patterns, and shapes. This is an image I borrowed, and there is harmony through the colors, the soft colors, low intensity colors being used in this work of art. Variety. Differing elements to keep a work of art from being boring. Variety is basically multiple elements or something like that. You see this 3 shapes here, differing patterns, differing lines, organic, geometric, and just a very diverse feel to the work of art. Emphasis. Ability to grab attention with a focus. This is done through isolation through color, shape, size, and placement. Through color, this is a dark color and a light color, so it stands out, and also shape, making a different type of shape against multiple of the same shape can create emphasis. Size, where you have smaller of the same shape but larger of that shape, can create emphasis as well. And finally, placement. Putting something in the middle is the first place where someone would look, so placement is important for emphasis as well. Rhythm. Movement through repetition. I kind of created the waves here by repeating a curvy shape, a curvy line with multiple colors, hard to see though, and it just creates movement and rhythm. Movement. Sense of action with diagonal or curved lines creating a flow or rigid movement feel. This looks like arrows, but it's going to a certain direction. You can see lines converging or protruding outward, which creates like a flash. Lines are wavy over here, where it creates a kind of sense of flow with water, and then these nice curves here create like a more stabilized flow, and chaotic lines like this can create a more faster type of flow. It kind of looks like a wheel. To show that you've learned something in this video, I'd like you, the viewer, to create an art piece using what you've learned through the elements and principles of art. List at least 3 elements and 3 principles you used in an art piece that you decided to create. In this art piece I made, I used bold lines to separate my drawing in the middle from my background. I used color with, vibrant colors, which give a nice variety to the drawing here. And finally, I used shape. There are organic and geometrical shapes to make this drawing unique. In this drawing, I used emphasis through color and distinction because my main point of my drawing is in the middle, and its colors are vastly different than the background. And as I mentioned before, I used variety through color, through design, through shape, and more. Finally, I used harmony. I used a pattern in the background to create a good emphasis and just make my drawing overall a stronger finish.